Now the reason why I saw Divergent is because I had to do an episode of Catching Up with Andre on Regal Movies YouTube channel about Insurgent. If you haven't seen that, be sure to check it out. It's completely neutral, unlike this video. Hi, I'm Andre and I'm a black nerd with a review for you, Letter Reviews. So I'm reviewing Divergent and Insurgent because I pretty much have the same things to say about both of them. Sorry fools, I saw 2 Divergent movies. If I'm going down, you're going down with me. I'm gonna tell you the good, I'm gonna tell you the bad, I'm gonna tell you the nerdy. Plot Divergent, it's a young adult novel that got turned into a movie because those make a lot of money. Except for the Mortal Instruments. Best synopsis ever. But what's that you say? You're interested in young adult novels, but you would feel awkward going into a Barnes & Noble or a Borders, or those Borders still exist, and buying one in public? Well, I have a solution. At audible.com, you can get over 150,000 audiobooks and you take them right from the internet to your tablet, to your PC, to your phone. You don't have to go anywhere. From the internet, you can get all the young adults you want. Young adult novels you get from Audible. If you want all the young adults from the internet, you go on Tinder. They got your Divergence, they got your Hunger Games, they got your Artemis Files, they got your Percy Jacksons, they got your Maze Runners, they got your... Well, they don't have Harry Potter, but they have audiobooks about the phenomenon of Harry Potter, so that's good enough. And if you use the URL audible.com/Andre, you get 1 free audiobook. That's audible.com/Andre. Whoa, what just happened? I just plugged into an advertisement test. Wow, this is a review and a sponsorship. This video is Divergent. First, the good. It's better than Twilight. Twilight put me to sleep. Second movie made me want to punch somebody. And the one time they did something actually good in the last movie, it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. But this movie, when it has some energy to it, which is few and far between, it is good. The action sequences, I enjoy. The fighting sequences, the gunplay, it's entertaining. And the special effects are actually pretty decent. So when this movie does something, I'm actually intrigued. The guy that plays 4 is pretty decent. Kate Winslet's the evil woman in this. She plays one note, but it's a good note. She works it. But there are 2 people that when they show up in this movie, I am happy. Courtney. Oh my gosh. This dude is like an 80s movie villain and I love him. Every scene, he's just like, I'm evil and I love being evil. That's what this movie needs. It needs somebody to just be like, look, I'm cheese, but I'm gonna play all up in this cheese. Miles Teller. Oh my God, Mr. Fantastic indeed. This dude is a total prick. He just always says the right mean thing right at the beginning. He does this bit where I'm just like, dang, that is cold. Basically a yo mama joke. Yo mama, yo dad mama. He is the young male equivalent of a mean girl. He is male Rachel McAdams. Just put a blonde wig on that dude and he would join the plastics instantly and be the ruler of it. Oh, and I got a free cup. That's another good thing. I got a free cup. Hey, Tris.
Yeah, 4?
I will always stand by you and hold all of your liquids.
Oh, 4, you're the best. Even though I'm so capable of doing everything myself, even though I always need you to save me when I try to do it. Tris!
It's a dystopian future, and we're in dystopian future Chicago, which kind of looks like regular Chicago. And somehow they felt that by stopping war, you divide everyone up into high school cliques. But I went along with it. It was totally fine. Except, now for the bad, they pretty much contradict their entire system. So you take this whole aptitude test to figure out which district, faction, you are supposed to be a part of, right? And then they make this big deal about, oh, if someone's divergent, rat them out because they shouldn't be liking more than one faction. But then you're still allowed to choose what faction you want to be in. That kind of still feels like Divergent. Hey, I know I'm one faction, but I'm choosing to be another faction. That sounds like you have an interest in more than one faction. So you basically contradicted your entire storyline. You hate Divergence, but you basically are allowing people to be Divergents. Does that make any sense? It probably doesn't, because it doesn't to me. 4 is a Divergent, but he doesn't want anybody to know he's a Divergent, yet he has a giant tattoo on his back that shows that he's a Divergent. Kate Winslet wants to kill all the Divergents in the first movie so that she could then find a box that she needs a Divergent to open. There's all these rumors floating around that 4's father beat him, that Janine, Kate Winslet's character, is evil. Yet you find out in this movie that Candor has a truth serum. So you have all these arguments about, is this true or not true, when you've got an entire faction with a bottle full of truth serum? What? The romance in this movie is so bad. 4 just says every single sappy line. Wherever you go, Tris, I will be there because of you. Because somehow, of all the people I met in my life, I saw you jump into a net. I was like, that's it. That's my girl. I was at a screening where they brought in press people and then they brought in like the fans to fill up the theater. Every single time 4 put one of them lines out, girls were just like, oh, he also kicks butt. I love him. And just when you're thinking they're gonna liven things up with a sex scene in Insurgent, it is the saddest sex scene. It's not even a sex scene. I'm zipping this down. I'm taking this off from the back, close up to the face, fade to black, and then, oh, next morning, morning. What happened? Did sex happen? I guess it happened in the fade out. But you can tell that's all they needed to do, because when they did this, nothing happened, and all the teenagers were still like, oh my God, oh, they did it, oh, we haven't learned this in health class yet. I'm sorry, no offense to Shailene Woodley, but I can't, I'm sorry, I tried. Something in the way I'm not connecting to you. Because they keep making this big deal of, she's the one, she's the strong leader. Yeah, I swear every scene she gets beat up or she gets rescued by 4, she's always like, oh, we gotta go kill Janine, we gotta go kill her. And then she has the opportunity to go by herself to kill her, and what does she just do? Hey, I surrender, 4 is gonna come rescue me. Sure, when she goes in the test and everything's fake, she can jump around, fly in buildings, but fight a couple of factionless dudes, and she almost gets herself choked until 4 comes in the last second. Oh, the freaking last second saves. This trope has to die. You guys know what I'm talking about. When someone has a gun in someone's face, they can just kill them right then and there, but they gotta talk or something like that. And then right at that very last second, someone comes in and saves the day. And they do this with a child. And I'm just like, come on guys. When they first show the child in the first scene that she's in, I'm like, this child, we're gonna think that she's gonna get killed. And then right at the last second, she's gonna be rescued. And sure enough, that happens. Spoiler alert, whatever. You told me about Donatello, take it. Naomi Watts is in this movie. I'm gonna show you a picture of her, and I'm gonna show you a picture of 4. Would you believe that Naomi Watts is 4's mother? They look like they're the same age. Naomi Watts looks awesome as well. She looks good. Dang, Naomi Watts, all right. Every time they're like, that's your mother, I'm like, nah. Even when they said in the movie, like, that's 4's mother, everyone in the audience was like, what? And out loud, because no one believed it. And then there's scenes where she's like, I like to watch my son sleep. No. She is a MILF. That's what some of the guys yelled in the theater. They were like, MILF. And as you know, MILF means mom, I like to foot massage. The second M is silent. Hate to be this dude. If you got an ounce of pigmentation in your skin, you are in the background. Help us for a little bit, and then you get your butt in the back. Random black dude that just starts talking to Trish for some reason, you get 1 action scene, then go to the back. Zoe Kravitz, who had a big part in the first film, she is regulated to like 2 scenes in this movie. And Zoe Kravitz is somebody I can see being like, okay, that's the one. Can we make Zoe Kravitz the new Trish? For race changing Spider-Man and everybody else, can we just race change Trish? I'm gonna reboot Insurgent and Divergent and make Zoe Kravitz the new Trish. Is it a rule that if you have a movie that's based on a young adult novel, that's based on a dystopian future, that you gotta have a Kravitz in the film? Just curious. And now for the nerdy. Miles Teller ends up joining Erudite, and Erudite wears these black and blue suits. I was like, it's Mr. Fantastic. All he needs is a 4 right in the corner. He probably showed that scene to Fox. You looking for Mr. Fantastic? Check out this scene from Insurgent. From the sappy romance to the entire world revolves around one character, it hits every single trope for that audience. And let me tell you something, being in the theater with them, it works. It doesn't upset me that much, doesn't bore me. I will probably end up seeing Allegiance Part 1 and 2. They're splitting the last book up into 2 parts because that's what you do nowadays. But it kind of irritates and disappoints me because even though it's based on a young adult novel, I could see a good movie in this if it was in the right hands. And you also didn't have the same cast members that were in this movie also be in every other movie together. I mean, seriously, this is like 6 degrees of Shailene Woodley right now. Could have been something for all audiences rather than just pigeonholing itself to be a carbon copy of the audience it was meant to be made for. But that being said, it is still way better than Twilight, because F Twilight. How do you feel about me reviewing movies like this that I normally wouldn't review? Fun to do the superhero movies and the nerdy movies and animated stuff, but there's a lot of movies out there. Let me know. I love you like a play cousin. I'm Audi 5000. Chain chomp. Yomp.